Hello and welcome to episode 17 of Mouse's Makes. My name is Mandy, known in some circles as Mouse, and this is where I show you some of the things that I've made. Here's something I made.
Hello.
This is my youngest son Ewan, who is making a very brief appearance on the podcast today. You have seen his hand before. You drew the...
I did, yes.
He drew the, I think it was last month's giveaway, and he'll be doing the same again. So his hand will appear again, like Debbie McGee to my Paul Daniels. Anyway, the reason Ewan has joined us today is that there are some questions to be answered. So Ewan's going to ask the questions and I'm going to answer them.
Right. How long have you been knitting for, and what is your favourite thing to knit?
Well, I've been knitting since I was about 5 years old, I think, because I don't remember who taught me to knit. It would either have been my mum or her mum who lived with us. But I do remember my dad helping me sort out a problem with my very first piece of knitting, which was meant to be a square and actually came out in a kind of an egg timer shape. And my dad died when I was 7, so I've been knitting at least half a century because I'll be 57 in October. And that little piece of knitting, it was navy blue, and it ended up being a pair of pants for my elephant. And as for my favourite thing to knit, what's my favourite thing to knit?
I'm going to have a guess and say it's socks.
Socks. I love to knit socks, but that is a relatively new passion. I only really discovered socks in September last year, so I've been knitting socks for less than a year. Before that, it was baby clothes and baby blankets for exactly the same reason. They knit up quickly and you can play with colours, and it's a bit of a fast fix for knitting, really. After socks, probably my favourite thing to knit is shawls, and the reason for that is there's no sewing up. Don't much like the sewing up.
How do you keep such a straight face while being so hilarious?
I don't think I'm hilarious. Do you think I'm funny?
Well, you have your moments.
There you go. I'm just being normal, and apparently normal is hilarious. My mum would say, do you mean funny ha-ha or funny peculiar?
And will the boys and the cats appear?
Well, here is one. The other one promises to appear next week, but he had to go to work today. He's on lates next week, so we may see him. You've seen Rocket. I can show you Rocket again. That was a proper look at Rocket. Rocket is Ewan's cat. Oh no. Poppy is here. Poppy is under the chair, and you've all met Poppy before. And I will try, if I remember to pause rather than stop, I will try and hunt down the other two and add them on to the end. Any more questions?
That is all the questions.
Okay.
My work here is done.
Oh, he's going to go now. So I'm just going to pause while he exits, and then, oh, Rocket's moved. I can have my chair back. Back with you in a second. And we're back. Whew, I'm a bit out of breath. That's only been like a split second for you, but it's been a couple of minutes of moving stuff for me. So, yeah, so that was Ewan. Ewan is 19 and a little bit shy. He didn't want to stay for the whole thing, but you've had a look at him. Right, quite apart from the appearance of Ewan, this is going to be an exciting episode, I think. I'm excited. I've been desperate to get on to Wednesday so I could record it. First of all, I've just noticed my notes, and right, before I came to film, my older son was here with his friend Steve. They're both groomsmen. I don't know what the modern thing is, but essentially they're both acting as best man with another friend of theirs for a fourth friend who's getting married on Saturday. And Peter, my son, brought his friend Steve around this morning because Steve's trousers need shortening for the wedding on Saturday. Today is Wednesday. And although I'm shielding, Steve, well, they're all doing it. They're all doing COVID tests every day because they're all so afraid of messing up the wedding. So Peter came round and I sent him upstairs. This is my craft room, which is on the first floor. I sent him upstairs to get my sewing caddy for the pins to pin up the trousers. And while he was up here, he obviously found my show notes because I did not write that. Yes, he is amazing. He is truly amazing, and you will be meeting him next week. Sorry, that distracted me because I looked at my show notes to see what I was going to do next, and there it was. That wasn't what I was going to do next. Never mind. Finished objects. I've finished my socks for Little Lycat's Christmas in July Little-on. So, technically I was late because I finished them yesterday, which was the 2nd of July, I think. 3rd of July. August. This is, children have just frazzled me. Yeah, so technically I was late, but she has extended it until the 7th of August because she's on holiday. So I'm not late. I am late, but I'm not late. So that's the first pair. Main body is Ange Knits Mistletoe colourway. Heels, and I did a stripe or 2 stripes on the toes, is now I can't remember if this is Drops Fable, I think, but it's 109 is the colourway, and it's just my own vanilla sock pattern on 2.25mm needles. And I was going to do a pink toe, but I just did the stripes. I just felt like doing something different. And the second pair, also for the knit along. Oops. These are West Yorkshire Spinners Hollyberry for the main body, and it may be Drops Fable, it may be Truly Woolrich, I can't remember which one was which now, and I didn't write it down, in holly for the heel. And the pattern for these socks is Simple Skip Socks, spelled SKYP, by Adrienne Koo. And that's all the finished objects I have got for today. I'm checking my notes now because I'm half expecting to find something else in there that I didn't write. So, whips wise, I showed you my scrap blanket and I said I think it's finished, but I might unpick it. It depends what the next colour is. Well, the next colour, I can wrestle it out the bag, the next colour is the Hollyberry, which is red and green, and I didn't think it would look terribly good against that, which is the bottom of the panel and which would have had the Hollyberry joined onto it. So I unpicked where I'd cast off and have started the Hollyberry and literally did like 2 rows. So the blanket is definitely going to be more than 5 feet long, which I'm happy about. I wanted a nice long one. That's one whip. I've got a couple of pairs of socks on the go. I've still got those perishing black cable socks. It seemed like such a good idea at the time. I finished one. I showed you the one I'd finished, and I've done this much of the second one. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. I've just finished 5 repeats of the pattern. I need another 2.5 repeats before I can do the heel. It's taking forever because I just don't want to knit on them because it's hard to see. So what I'm making myself do is, when I'm at Knit and Natter, I belong to a Knit and Natter online Knit and Natter run by Caroline from Aria Bark Designs. That's when I knit on these, and I make myself knit on these, not on anything else. So I've got about 2.5 hours done on them last week. So we'll see how long we're on for on Friday. It could be another 2.5 hours done this week. But yeah, I don't know what possessed me. But using the same pattern, and that is the Alpha pattern by Tanis Fibre Arts. Using that same pattern, I've got a very pale green pair of socks on the go, which I haven't got here. They're upstairs. Which I'm enjoying knitting more because I can see what I'm doing. And I've just started a little pair of shorties. So I've got 3 pairs of socks on the go. And I promised myself, when I finished those ones I've just shown you, that I wasn't going to cast any more socks on until I'd finished the ones that I'd got on the needles already. And then I fancied knitting a pair of shorties, so that was the end of that. I've also, you can probably see it behind me. Oh gosh. I've also cast on a rocket tee again. But this time, hang on, it's got hooked up. This time, oh Lord. Chaos reigns as usual. I'm just doing it in the one colour. And this is the colour I'm doing it in. Which is not a colour I normally wear, but, and my husband tells me it really suits me. If I were to see it in a shop, I probably wouldn't even think of looking at whatever garment it was. But in actual fact, I think it's quite pretty, and it could well end up being one of those things that you just wear all the time because it's comfy and it suits you. The yarn I'm knitting it in, sorry, it's made my nose itch, is from Ange Knits, yet again. And it was part of, she did a spring collection. 5 yarns, oh gosh, it really made my nose itch. 5 yarns in the spring collection, and this one was called Rose Gardens. And so I messaged her. She does custom, she'll dye to custom orders. I asked her could I have 3 to do a tea with, and she dyed me up 3. But I think, I know it was in her spring collection, let me show you the back. I think that's more autumnal than springish. And I do like a nice autumnal colour. Having said I don't normally wear this colour, but you know what I mean. Autumnal colour palettes. I'm digging a hole for myself again, aren't I? So I'm trying the rocket tee, because I thought it'd be quite nice. Have a little V-neck. So we'll see how that comes out. If you saw the previous episode where I tried a rocket tee and ended up with 22 inches of positive ease, I'm hoping that won't happen this time, because I have gone down 2 sizes. I'm using the same needle size, but I've gone down 2 garment sizes in the hope that even if it does come up a bit big, it won't be so massive. And I'm doing it as kind of a fade. Let me arrange these, because obviously they were hand dyed and they were done all at the same time, but they have wound up as slightly different colours. I don't know if you can see. So this one on this end is the one that I'm working from, and that's got quite a lot more blue in than the other 2. And the other 2 are, well, the middle one I think is lighter than the end. to my eye anyway. I don't know if you can see. So I'm doing them as kind of a fade, because they won't all be exactly the same. They're not all exactly the same, so it's going to work out as a sort of a fade. So watch this space. By next week it could be finished, it could be pulled down. Who knows? We know how these things have been going for me lately, don't we? I might just give up knitting anything other than socks if this doesn't go right. And I've just caught sight of my hair. Please excuse the state of my hair. I look like Wurzel Gummidge's homeless sister at the moment. I washed it this morning, which was a trial, because yesterday morning I woke up and I'd laid funny and I couldn't move my head and I couldn't lift my right arm. And it really needed washing yesterday, but I had to leave it because I couldn't do it. So I managed to wash it this morning, but rather than let it air dry, because I had Peter and Steve coming round and I knew I was going to be on the podcast, I blow dried it. I blow dried it. I used a hairdryer. And this is what happens to my hair if I use a hairdryer. It's just like a big floofy freeze that you can see it's trying to curl, but the hairdryer's blown it all straight. So I apologise for once again looking like I've been drugged. Perhaps I should be drugged. It might be helpful. Dragged through a hedge backwards. No drugs were involved, unfortunately. Yes, exciting thing. So I've just been talking about Ange Knits. I'm going to talk a bit more about Ange Knits because I've done shopping. I was a bit cheeky and I messaged Ange and I said, what are the chances that you might do a discount code, especially for the people who watch my podcast, especially for my subscribers? And she's come back with a discount code only for us, a 10% discount code. And I am so excited. I feel like a proper podcaster now. We've got our own discount code. So the code is, all one word, capital letters, Mouses Makes 10. And that's the code. So if you order from Ange, and I will, what's it called? When I put it in the description box below. Where are those damn drugs? In the description box below, I will put the link. If you were to order from her, when you get through to sort of the payment screen, there's a box for a code. That's your code. Mouses Makes 10. How exciting is that? Very is the answer you were looking for. I've also, with a view to the fact that we're going to be doing this knit along next week, I've also opened a Mouses Makes group on Ravelry. This is because I'm overexcited. I need to calm down and slow down. There is a Mouses Makes group on Ravelry now. It's simply called Mouses Makes. And that's where the questions came from. To check that I'd done it correctly, because I'm a bit of a dunce when it comes to anything like that, I set up an Ask Me Anything thread, and that's where the questions that Ewan asked came from. The thread is still there if anybody has any other questions, like why on earth do you not brush your hair before you come and record? Yeah, so that's there. If you wanted to join, it's ready for the knit along and for anything else that comes about. It took me a long time to do, but I just mentioned Caroline from Aria Bark Designs. She has offered, if there's anything else complicated I need to do on Ravelry, she's a bit of a whiz with it, unlike me, that she will Zoom me and screen share and talk me through it, which frankly sounds quite complicated all by itself. but I have every faith in her. Far more faith in her than I have in myself. Let's put it that way. So we should be all right, Ravelry wise. Okay. Calming down now. I have some yarn to show you. It is, by coincidence, all from Ange Knits. I'm not sponsored by Ange Knits, and I've just remembered I was going to say thank you to all the new subscribers at the beginning, and I even wrote it down. Look, see, right above where I've been interfered with, say welcome to new subscribers. That's Peter's fault, that is. Welcome new subscribers to the chaos that is Mouse's makes, which is worse when the mouse is overexcited. And taking another calming breath. Right. I'm not sponsored by anyone. I'm not sponsored by Ange Knits or Ducky Darlings, who I also use a lot of her yarn. It's purely that I'm quite new to hand-dyed yarn, and they are, well, until last week when I got some from Little Mouse House and the stuff from Alex at My Yarny Corner. They were the first two independent yarn dyers that I ever bought from, and so they're kind of my favourites, though I fully intend to expand my collection as time goes on. So I have some more stuff from Ange Knits to show you, but I just wanted to make it clear I'm not sponsored. I don't get a kickback. She doesn't send me anything for free. It's just she happens to be a favourite of mine. I have a year-long advent calendar from her, and she does them, you can have 1 month, 3 months, 6 months or 12 months. So of course I went for 12 months. And I actually opened this on the 31st of July. Yes, 31st of July. Because I thought it was already August. So I opened it a bit early. See, they're all numbered. And this was my August present. In her advent calendars, they're not named. They've got no colourway names. You just get the yarn. And I have got a bit of a thing about green at the moment, which is new. It's only really the last 6 months or so that I've developed a green obsession. But yeah, so that was I was going to say it was my freebie, but it wasn't free. I just paid for it ages ago. I've only got 4 left to open, and it's very hard not to just rip into them all and see what's there. But that spoils the surprise, doesn't it? I ordered myself some yarn from her with a view to doing some tops. I want to make some more hand knitted tops. I don't know why, because I've had so much trouble with them. But I've got the red and black that I showed you last week. I've had a sort through my collection, and I think I've got some purples and mauves and more pastel-y colours that would make one. I've got some more green because I bought the her malachite colourway. I've got 4 of those, so I was thinking maybe I might do a flax light, because I might have enough for, well, some 3/4 length sleeves, if nothing else. But yes, so I've got quite a few, and then I saw some more. I'm sorry, it's rustly. So essentially it's a ready-made kit. And you've got the dark green, and this one is navy, green, cream and the yellow. So that one is obviously meant to kind of bridge the gap. But because I wasn't sure about this yellow, actually, let me just, sorry, take it out would be a lot easier, wouldn't it? Yeah, I wasn't sure about this yellow. In actual fact, it doesn't look too bad. So I don't have a lot, well, I don't have any yellow in my wardrobe. I made a cardigan last year. Oh, it was a disaster. It's not as golden yellow as this. And I didn't have enough yarn, so it ended up having short sleeves. And I looked at it, and the combination of the short sleeves, the pattern, and the colour, and it's just like a granny cardigan. I'm not wearing that. So that's sitting in a box waiting to be pulled down and made into a blanket with some cream that I've got. So yeah, off on a tangent again. So these three are a kit to make whatever. But I wasn't sure about the yellow, so I bought an extra green. Oh gosh, I haven't got big enough hands for this, look. So it's a slightly darker than the one that came in the kit. So this one is forest green, and the kit of three is called Sunflower Garden. So I thought I could do that, but now I see that it's not actually that bad, is it? It's a bit hard to tell because of the light. I might just go for it. I might be brave and go for it. So that's another one in the works, as it were. Oh, that would go with it too. Oh yeah, look. Turn that up the other way. That would go in as well. Decisions. But although I said once in the past that I prefer a round neck, I quite like the V-neck of the Rocket Tee when I tried it on, when it was like a million miles too big. So we'll see. Okay, I think that's everything. I've gone through it really, really quickly because I'm like, because I'm all excited. Because we've got a Ravelry group and we've got our own special discount code. And now I feel like a proper person. So the only thing left to tell you about is August's giveaway. Starts today. It finishes at midnight British summertime on August the 25th, because I'll draw it on the podcast on the 26th. All you have to do to enter is, it's great if you're a subscriber, that would be excellent, but if you could like and comment, that's all you need to do to enter, not to answer. I really need to chill out. So just like and comment and you're entered. The prize, I'm sure you would like to know, is this knitting bag with my little Mouse's Makes. This is actually a new design. This is a wrist strap, look. I've not done those on a sock bag before, but I have done this on a sock bag before. The zip is an open-ended zip. And the reason for that is, if you're one of those people who likes to knit in the car or knit while you're walking along, you can have your yarn coming out the end. So you can have it around your wrist and knit away as you're walking. Design feature number 1. And design feature number 2, because the zip opens up completely, like on a jacket, you can fold it over and have it like a little bucket bag without straining the zip. I don't know whether anyone else is designing them like this. This is my own design, and I've made a couple for myself like this and thought, oh, actually that's quite handy, so I made one for you. And I messaged Ange. I bought my yarn and I paid for a sock set for you guys to go into the prize. And I messaged her and I said, look, it's for a prize on my podcast, so you choose, because couldn't make up my mind. And she chose this little sock set. So it's 50 grams of this, of the pink, and 25 grams of the green. And it's her In the Garden sock set, and it's 75% 25% superwash merino. And it's got kind of, I don't know if the light's picking it up, because the sun's very strong out there, which is not helpful. Actually, let me just try. Hang on a minute, let me try. Is this better or worse? It's like being at the opticians, isn't it? Better with this one and better with this one. Try. Oh, that might be better actually. Yes. So it's got kind of a little orangey toned stripe coming through it. And that's your green contrast. So that's the In the Garden sock set. And it's pure coincidence, she didn't know about the bag. Looks like I'm spooky now. Woohoo! I think it goes really nicely with the bag because it's picked up the pink and the green from the little Volkswagen campers. So that's your price for August. Sock set and bag. So you're all ready and prepared for the sock along come September. I'm going to open this again now because I feel like a hammer house. Oh gosh. Oh, I've broken it. Oh no. That's a bit better. I'll fix that in a minute. It's happened before. It was fixing out to be quite a normal, calm and sensible podcast today, and it's just all fallen to pieces. Okay, so to enter, I'm just going to go over it again because I can't remember if I told you everything. To enter, like, comment on any of the August podcasts up until midnight British summertime on the 25th of August 2021, and I will draw it the following day on the podcast with the help of my Debbie McGee assistant Ewan. Oh no, I won't, he'll be at work. Oh, I'll have to draw it myself. Unless we film it quick before he goes. I'll worry about that nearer the time. So, that's all I have for you today. You're probably very relieved that I'm now going to go away and you can sit back in your chairs and go, a bit like when the grandchildren go home, really, I suppose. Overexcited, noisy, breaking things. Very much like a toddler today. I'm not the only one. I'm just looking out in the garden and I can see that Ty, the dog next door, has murdered one of his toys. It looks like it's been snowing in next door's garden. There's like K-pop stuffing everywhere. It's obviously catching. Right, I think that's everything. Sorry for being overexcited. I'll be back to my normal quiet and grumpy self. Next week I expect, oh no, because Peter will be here. He'll wind me up. Thank you for watching. Hope you like the prize and enter, and I will see you next week. Take care everybody. Bye.